Welcome back, Breadcrumbs, to another installment of Sandwich, the lovely podcast where we talk about movies that we've been watching. In this installment, we watched Fido, a movie where the zombie apocalypse isn't exactly the way that we thought it would be, as people, quote-unquote, own zombies. There was a great zombie war, and then eventually they just kind of got domesticated in a weird and fun way as we dive into this small town of whatever it was called.
Willard?
Sweet.
Yeah.
As you already know, I am Cheese.
And I'm Meat.
And we're going to hit you with another one. Starting with our trailer thoughts, which is something new that we're doing.
Yes.
Where we decided that we are going to watch the trailers and then have our first impressions and thoughts on what this movie is actually going to entail.
Yeah, so if you guys haven't, if you're one of the awesome people who like to listen to this podcast without watching the movie, we would definitely recommend you take a pause right now, go watch the trailer, and then hopefully come back. And then you can kind of at least get that bit. I'm definitely the type of person who would listen to this podcast before watching a movie to see if it would be worth watching. I would trust two inconspicuous, funny host members to guide me through a movie journey. And then I would also even be the type of person who would listen to this after watching it. But yeah, definitely watch the trailer. My first impression was, first, I was really excited to start doing this because I didn't know how I'd feel about it. I didn't know what I would say. But I after watching the trailer, I was truly excited. Coming from a person who hasn't seen this movie. Obviously, this was Cheese's recommendation. So I am fresh coming into this. I really liked the music. I liked it reminded me of Dennis the Menace a little bit, which is kind of the era that I was assuming that it was coming from.
A 60s kind of vibe.
The funny bits that they chose for the trailer, phenomenal. At least for the one that I watched. I don't know if there was multiple trailers for this. The pet-like nature of the zombies I thought was really cool and fascinating. And just the bond that the little kid has gave me the same vibe that E.T. has. And...
Oh yeah, where kid becomes friend with the thing.
Yeah, or even... what was it, Henry and the Hendersons?
Oh, Harry and the Hendersons? Where they just adopt a...
Sasquatch?
Yeah.
Yeah, just that, homey vibe. I love those movies. So I was really excited going into watching this.
I just wrote down since this is still kind of fresh, I just wrote down my initial thoughts. I wrote, people keep zombies for personal use, and then things go wrong when a kid zombie eats someone. That was the sum up I got from the trailer.
Yeah. I mean, how is it, for you? When's the last time you seen this movie before?
When I was a teenager, 10 to 12 years ago.
How was, watching the trailer? Did it bring up, memories of the movie for you at all? Did it make, I remember that bit, or?
Honestly, not really.
Really? Wow.
I basically went into this movie blind. I didn't realize how blind it was. About how long 12 years can really change your perspective on whether or not you've seen something.
That's true.
Boy, oh boy, I did not remember this movie. I remembered some themes, but only when they popped up in the movie. Nothing sparked anything for me from the trailer.
Director, we have Andrew Curry, who I would like to say, most Canadian filmmakers, that I just love their movies. I don't know what it is. Their brains are just so great for filmmaking and directing. But Andrew Curry is a filmmaker and screenwriter from Canada who is only best known for this movie, which came out in 2006, as his first large budget film, and also his first debut film, Mile Zero, which came out in 2001, which I don't know what that is. But when I looked at his other film movies, he has a couple other ones that are zombie coded, and others that just have these comedic violent themes. So I thought that was kind of interesting. That's his trope. So this is definitely, he's in his realm. I thought that was kind of cool. Always recognize those who aren't best known for these big picture things. Even though apparently he did work for Marvel.
Oh.
So, how many actors?
I got 2 this time.
I got 4.
Yeah, I know, you beat me this
4.
time. Well, it's because I recognized some of them, but I was like, I can't physically place where I've seen that dude before.
Oh, yeah?
Like the dad of the little blonde girl. I had seen him somewhere, but I was like, I have no idea.
Oh, man. I knew. Okay, let's start with him first, because did you write him down as one, or did you decide not to? Okay.
No, I decided
so
not to.
He was the 4th one that I recognized. I also couldn't, something with his eyes and his face reminds me of a different actor, and I know, not by name, but I know by face the different actor he reminds me of. But then I also, when I looked him up, realized, oh my gosh, don't remember what character he was, but he's one of the main bad guys, I think, or like the secret quote-unquote bad guys in the Mission Impossible series, because he's in like 4 of them.
Okay.
Yeah, he's in that realm. I'm pretty sure he's in the one that is like supposed to be there for what's the name?
Tom Cruise?
No, what's his character's name?
Ethan Hunt?
Ethan Hunt. He's supposed to be like the, not the caretaker, but like, I got you, buddy, kind of character.
Oh, yeah, like his boss?
Yeah, thank you. I don't know why words aren't coming to me, but I think he's supposed to be kind of like one of his bosses that ends up, like...
swapping sides?
Yeah, I'm bad at words right now, but
yeah,
I'm double-crossing him. But that's what I recognized him from. I think I can guess the one you recognized. One of the 2, at least. I bet you recognize Carrie-Anne Moss.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, instantly when I saw her on screen, if I had a tail, it would be wagging, because I'm like, oh my gosh, she's in this.
It kind of surprised me, though, because this movie is very different from the feel of The Matrix.
Yeah.
So I was like, did not expect it, but it was kind of a pleasant surprise.
I forgot to keep it, but I had this quote written down from the director. The reason why he chose Carrie-Anne Moss to play Helen, by the way, which is the mother, it's because she has this elegant way of looking intellectual, respected, but also sweet and empathetic and elegant and all at once. She has so many sides to her character that's just perfect for this role of this mother kind of like going through. Like, she's so passive. She's not really a conflict that's going on. You know, she is kind of like doing what the husband wants, but at the same time understanding her misbond with her son, and like understanding the empathy that she could have for the zombie, and even finding love in a sense. So like her acting, I guess, was really great for it.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. And it was another one of those actors outside of what I would assume their life roles were. Mm-hmm. One of my favorite actors that this is Hugh Jackman. Mm-hmm. Now, he wasn't in this movie, but
right.
as a example of somebody who's reached outside of what they were quote unquote made for. He was on an interview, and he said that after he had finished wrapping some of the X-Men movies, someone came up to him and said that he would only ever be known for doing Wolverine. That he would never be able to.
Was this before or after Greatest Showman?
This was before. This was before he did any musicals. This was even before Les Mis.
Boy, were those people wrong.
Yeah, they were way wrong.
Mm-hmm. Gosh.
And so I love it when there's a shift in actors like being able to challenge themselves in a role that probably doesn't absolutely suit them because of their past experience. Mm-hmm. So.
Mm-hmm. I'm interested who your other actor that you recognized was.
I bet you could guess it.
Is it Tim Blake Nelson?
No.
Oh.
It's the other one on your list.
Dylan Baker?
Yeah.
Wow.
How could I forget that face?
True.
I was like, dude, I know I've seen him before. And then I looked at his credentials and I was like...
Credentials?
Oh, duh. He was Dr. Kurt Connors in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I was like, dude... All I remember is that scene where he's like poking at the sample of venom that Tobey Maguire gave him, and he's like, dude, don't touch this stuff.
Yeah, he was also in the Anchorman movies. I can't believe you didn't recognize Tim Blake Nelson.
I don't know who that was.
Mr. Theopolis? The neighbor that had Tammy?
Oh, yeah. I thought he was familiar to me. I think he's the guy in Big Bang Theory, but I can't remember.
What? No.
Oh, he's not?
No. Do you not remember, like, Disney's Holes?
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, he like the sunscreen on the nose and the hat, and then he's also in Incredible Hulk as one of the scientists. I think he's like Mr. Blue.
I kind of blocked out holes from my memory because I don't really have any memory of it.
Oh, I love
I just remember that Shia LaBeouf is in it, and then there's the kid named Zero, and then they get stuck in a pit with scorpions, and that's about all I remember from that movie.
Scorpions. It's not scorpions.
It's not?
No.
Oh.
It's like...
Well, I guess I was way wrong then.
Okay, come June, we'll watch this movie to be like a nice little summer auctionage. He was also in Hoot. Great list. I saw a comment about this movie that someone was saying they didn't like this movie wouldn't have done well. I mean, this movie flopped in Canada, but they said it helped with the cast it had, and I didn't know the guy who plays Fido. I think it's Bill Connery, something like that. I don't know. He's apparently like some great actor in. Oh. Just like apparently. Apparently like a well-known actor that I have no idea who he is, and even when I saw an original photo of him, I'm like, I'm sorry, like I don't know this actor. To anyone who does, that's great. But yeah, someone made a comment that like this movie would have done crap if it didn't have the cast it had, and it had a good cast. But like, I think the movie was like, I don't think the cast made the movie. I think if it had any other actor greater, like more well known than these actors, I feel like the movie would have done worse. Because I've talked about this before, is I don't like it when people buy, or like directors or producers buy an actor just to get more views. I don't feel like that was the way with Carrie-Anne Moss, because like that quote that I talked about, the director had an image for this character, and it maybe partly was like, yeah, I'll get Carrie-Anne Moss in here, but it's not like she isn't capable to do the job. I'm talking about people who buy actors who just are a terrible fit for the character and for the rest of the cast and the whole idea of the movie. Like if they got who was really popular in the early 2000s, if they got Hugh Grant to play one of the actors, it would just not work at all. So I'm happy with this cast, and I'm glad it wasn't like a sellout kind of movie.
Yeah, that's completely fair. I did look up Bill Connolly, and he's actually more notable than we remember him for. He is in Brave.
Really?
Yeah, he voiced the King.
Oh.
He voiced McSquizzy in Open Season.
Oh, okay.
I think he was one of the dwarfs in the Hobbit movies. Because it says his name is Dane, but I don't remember which one Dane is, so that's my bad. That's about all that I would recognize him from, though. But he's been in a lot of movies, so also very notable, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I didn't recognize him. Apparently he's normally with this huge beard. And yeah. I hate to say this,
he's a bearded fellow for sure.
But when I saw, like, because he plays Fido, I don't remember if I said that, but...
You did.
Okay, in the trailer, I kept staring at him thinking, is that like Bill Murray or like his brother or something? Because he kind of looks like Bill Murray in a sense. And I kept thinking...
You're like thinking back to Zombieland, Bill Murray, Zombie?
No, even before that, I'm thinking of, what's that spoof movie that Bill Murray's in?
Dude, I don't know.
It's like a zombie one, too.
Oh, then that doesn't help me.
I know, because you don't like... You would like this one, though, because it's also comedic, like this one. And they're, like... He's a deputy there to, like, fight zombies. And then it turns into this weird, like, open portal world thing. But it's, like, Dead Tomorrow or something like that. Because it has this song that has the same title as the movie, and it plays throughout the movie. But anyway, some of you might not know, but that's a good movie. I just have to find it again. But he kind of like young Bill Murray. It kind of looks like young Bill Murray. And it was hard to tell because Fido and all the other zombies has so much of this grayish blue makeup on with like debris and like fake gouges and whatnot that it's hard to be like, yeah, no way that's Bill Murray. But I was looking at it and I'm like, that kind of looks like Bill Murray, but they would have just said Bill Murray on it. You know, like he's still like a known actor, especially in early 2000s. They would just plaster that all over the movie.
Yeah.
But, he did great, even though he didn't say any words. Bill Connery...
he mumbled a little bit.
He grunted, yeah. But you know how the mother, Helen Robinson, or Carrie-Anne Moss, you know how she was pregnant midway through the movie? Or, her... She probably been pregnant the whole movie, like her character, but the whole gag of Bill not noticing and whatnot, yada, yada, yada.
Not really caring or whatever.
Yeah. Did you know that Carrie-Anne Moss was actually pregnant?
I mean, I can believe it.
And that was her pregnancy, her belly, no artificial belly. It was literally like her pregnancy.
I wonder how long they waited after she had her baby, because at the end of the movie she was more thin again.
Well, they probably filmed that scene first.
They filmed the end of the movie first?
Do you not know how filming goes?
Sometimes I do.
You don't film. You don't film.
Well, I mean, I know you don't start at the beginning.
Yeah, usually you like group the scenes together if they're similar. If there's nighttime scenes, you want to do a shoot with all nighttime because scenes like you want to do that because it's usually cheaper for paying for the actors, paying for the makeup. You don't have to go back in the same makeup, yada yada yada. But they probably did that scene last. Before she was like showing too much. They added the pregnancy scenes to keep the continuity throughout the movie as she grew larger. At one point, she was even 7 months pregnant. So when she was their biggest on screen, she was 7 months at that point. So some of them they added in. So probably like the odd scene where she's up in the house talking to Bill. And she's like, Bill, do you love me anymore? And he's like, get away. She's like, I'm pregnant. And he's like, you're just getting fat, basically.
Yeah.
I think that was added in for the effect of keeping it continuing. So that probably just took longer too. My other fun fact is, and apparently I guess he gets referred to as Sir, but Sir Billy Connolly accepted the role of Fido weeks before the filming, but it's later was said a week before, since he was interested in the acting challenge of making a character compelling without any dialogue. But did you know he was really upset after he learned he had to shave off his beard?
Why couldn't he have just been a bearded zombie?
I think it was... I can see the image. I think it wouldn't have been great, because if you don't say a lot of words, you probably rely a lot on the facial expressions, even though he didn't make a lot. But it was the whole... You probably wouldn't... You know when he, like, tilts his head up and he's trying to be, like, smiling or, like, laughing or, you know, like he's doing his grunts? I feel like if he had a beard, it would look frightening.
Oh, dude, I'd love it more if he had a beard. Imagine, like, a rotting corpse that just has a beard and they're just like, ugh, and the beard is just like...
Yeah, okay, that's fair. And the blood getting in it, you know?
Yeah, like when he munches on people and it's just like, oh, what's that stuff in his beard?
They could have braided it.
True.
He could have, like, yeah, you know, he could have kept it and they could have done, like, braids. I don't know.
Yeah, like maybe the neighbor guy could have done braids. Mm-hmm. Since he's familiar with dolling up zombies.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I guess it wasn't... I don't know. In the fact that I was looking at, he said a not so nice quote about how it was like shaving off his beard was like ripping out his heart or something like that. And I guess the role was more important to him than the beard in the end, you know?
I mean, you gotta eat somehow.
That's true. Not with the beard.
Maybe that was the thing, is like he was upset that he had to shave it, but was like, I'm getting paid a good amount to do this movie.
Yeah.
And
it'll grow back.
Yeah. As much as I hate it.
That's very true. And then lastly, there's a stuntman for Bill Connolly. His name is Andrew Dorr. And I would like to just kind of share a respected moment of silence for him, because during the factory scene where the zombie outbreak happens, he died during the cast lunch, and the movie ended up being dedicated to his memory. So.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That's intense.
It is very, very intense. But I wanted to make sure to have that respectful one, because dang. But I would like to hear some of your favorite parts.
I thought it was funny that they just called them the Zombie Wars.
Yeah.
Since, honestly, I don't think... I don't know how much of a war it would actually be. With technology now, we'd probably be able to just decimate the zombies and an outbreak wouldn't happen that fast.
Or would it make them... Well, maybe you're right. I was thinking they would make them super zombies because the radiation from, like, the blast would be, like... They morph into something from Resident Evil games.
Yeah, but I mean, we got, like, artillery and stuff that blows up that stuff like it's nothing.
That's true.
I always think that the concept of zombies is funny because I think I wrote this down as a quote. He's not the man you married. I love this concept because most people are like, how could you kill your own family member if they're a zombie? And I'm like, bro, they're not alive anymore.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Just blast them. They're not going to care. If you get to the other side and they're talking to you and they're like, man, I'm glad you didn't die to my zombie form. That was my whole perspective. I talk about this. I've talked about this plenty of times with some of my friends where they've been like, would you be able to shoot your mom if your mom turned into a zombie? And I was just like, yeah, absolutely. No doubt. I'm like, well, she's dead already. It ain't gonna affect her any. I'm not actually killing her.
That's fair.
But there's a lot of people out there who are like, that would just be too emotionally traumatic for me.
I guess that's fair. I'd probably tell them all that I've been wanting to tell them for a while, and then shoot them, make it cathartic out of it.
Oh, yeah. Just be like, well, now that you're dead, here's all the stuff that I've been hiding from you for the past 27 years.
I do like to think about the philosophy of zombies, though, because I'd like to think that, just like Timmy thinks, He's like, oh, are they really dead? Or, like, are they going to hell? Or, like, where are they? And the mom starts talking about it being purgatory or whatever. I like to think that if the soul did move on somewhere and then all of a sudden their body later turns into a zombie, I'd like to think that what if they're ripped out of where they were just to be, like, the power source for now this, like, mutated thing.
Oh, like it becomes more of an occult kind of thing?
Yeah. Like, I just like to think of, that would be a terrible situation, but, like, think about, like, what if that's happening? So then it ruins a lot of people who are like, yeah, they're just dead. I'm like, yeah, but the soul is powering that body now. Like, they can really do things. And the reason why I like to think about that is because there's so many movies where they humanize zombies in a sense where it's like, oh, they're remembering, or they have, like, this sense of compassion or something, like Fido has, or, like, in Warm Bodies, they unzombify themselves, or they end up speaking, or what they do, like, kind of...
Guess what? I'm not a zombie anymore.
Well,
Let's sing and dance and prance.
He kind of does. The main guy, I think, in the end, doesn't becomes a zombie anymore. Or, they just have these, like, more, human qualities instead of, like, zombified dying qualities. Some of them are too far gone, but, the fact that they can listen to commands... Sure, I feel like gives them more quote-unquote soul, because you can't tell a fly what to do, but, like,
Well, also, I thought that was, like, part of what the collars were for in this movie.
Make them...
Be able to allow them to be controlled.
No, the collars just suppress their eating urges, and then deliver shocks if they misbehave.
Oh.
Yeah.
Boy, wow.
Wow, does this change your whole zombie philosophy now?
Well, I always thought that zombies were kind of stupid anyway.
Yeah, well, because their brain's rotting.
Well, not that kind of stupid. Like, the concept of it has always been kind of dumb to me. I feel like at some point in time they were scary, but as we've progressed on and on, like, back in the 60s, this would probably be a very horrifying movie, right. Like, oh, a thing reanimated and ate my neighbor.
Yeah.
But now I'm just like, whatever. I would care that it ate my neighbor, but at the same time, I'd be like, oh man, now I gotta put 2 bullets into the thing. Like, if it...
A 2?
Like, I'm just, like, the person who ate the neighbor and the neighbor. My thing is like, they just stopped being scary because of an what's the...
Use? Publicized,
They're just... Zombies are just used in everything, and it's so easy to do zombies. Because when you cast a zombie, you're literally just casting a normal person.
Yeah.
And there's been so many different concepts about zombies, which is why I like movies like this, and Zombieland, and all these other ones who kind of make fun of the trope. Because it's so ridiculous to be scared of them, in my opinion. But that's just me. I know that there are people who are like...
Still scared from him, yeah.
No, not gonna me. And then I'm like, I could sit in a movie theater and just be chill and be like, yeah, this ain't that scary. Oh no, jump scare got me because zombie popped out of nowhere.
Yeah, I really like the paranormal scary. Like that.
So like ghosts and stuff?
Well, kind of
like demons or
more like demons and like, Insidious
like
series?
Like the paranormal. activity one?
No, those ones are so...
those are goofy.
Yeah, those I never take serious. I think when I first watched them when I was like 8 or whatever, they were scary. But no, they're such a... They still scare my partner terribly. And I laugh all the time because of it, which is terrible of me. But things like Insidious, that still gets me. I think that is still scary.
I don't remember those movies.
They're pretty intense, but I like it.
I had a stint where I watched a bunch of horror movies with one of my friends, and 90% of them I don't remember because I just thought that they were too funny to be considered a horror movie.
That's fair. I like the ones that have a little bit of humor. Kind of breaks up the heart attack you're about to have over and over again. If you do get like mini heart attacks, if you think they're funny the whole time, then that's
part of my problem was that I was like the type of person who would laugh because I could imagine the stunt double or whatever going ah, and then just getting sucked to a wall and going ah, and then, like them using my wires and whatever to like fling them to the ceiling or whatever.
Yeah.
It just is really goofy in my brain to to be an actor and have to pretend that you're getting sucked to a wall or stuck to the ceiling or you're catching on fire or whatever.
Yeah, you'd be a terrible stunt double because you would be like one of the people.
Yeah, I'd be like, it's got me.
I don't know. Maybe you would make it more scarier because you would be like on fire and then be laughing, and then a little kid would be like, oh. I think what zombie movies have proved to today that is if we were to ever have a zombie apocalypse, we're like you said, it's overdone. Where most people aren't freaking out anymore, I think they would be able to be prepared for a zombie apocalypse if said one ever happened. Or
so many preppers.
Yeah, or people are going to be so relaxed, they're going to be like, they can't hurt me.
Oh. Well, I think a college, don't quote me on this, but I think a college group of students did a study course on like zombie apocalypse and how it would work. And they found out that if a zombie apocalypse happened in New York City, it wouldn't leave New York City. Because of how advanced our technology is, where we would be able to contain it pretty quickly.
I feel like we could.
Especially with the way that it's like traditionally spread, where it's like, thing bites you, you turn.
There is one, and I don't remember what it's called, where not only is the virus like passed on between person to person, but it's also airborne.
Oh yeah, that would be a bummer.
Yeah, I think that would be the only one that would really screw with us, because I feel like in that movie people didn't have to die to turn into a zombie. I think even if you were like sick with a cold and it was in the air, it would slowly like make you even more sick to where it would churn you. Like you would die in a split second and churn.
Yeah.
Like you're not dying from the illness, it's just like
you're like walking down the street and then all of a sudden
kind of, yeah, like you would be like, oh, like something would be like going on, like if you were just severely sick, and then technically I guess it would kill you, but it would be more of like the virus is so strong it's taking over in your body, and ideally I think it would take over your body before your body's died, if that makes sense. Like if a virus like just took over so much.
And that's why I think that Resident Evil and stuff like that is really cool, is because that's like their whole thing, is they're like, we're trying to improve humanity.
Yeah.
But then we created this thing that technically lets you live longer and do all this stuff, but you're not you.
Yeah. I love Resident Evil movies and games. I love. I like the beginning with the like it starts out in what it reminds me of is how Men in Black starts and how the Twilight Zone starts.
Oh yeah.
Where they have like that black and white,
the
like
narration.
TV, narration. And I really liked it when it gave me the history of everything.
Oh yeah.
I was just like, okay, cool, like the history of
Zamcon.
Yeah. And yeah, as soon as it started like saying Zamcom is our savior, blah blah blah, we should be thankful. I was like, oh, this is like an ad, or like not an ad, but just in the movie realm, an ad for Zamcom. And then I loved how it instantly switched to the teacher pulling up the projector, like she just presented that, even though it was not the screen we were watching. It was a separate, like breaking the wall kind of like intro thing, but it's supposed to serve as the students just watch that, even though they didn't. I like that transition.
That's a cool transition, yeah.
Perfect. Transitions like that are the best. I also enjoyed how colorful it was. It was, I mean, the set, the costumes, the grass. I love me some green grass, yes. And a great contrast for the zombies, too. I mean, like I said, they got like this grayish blue makeup.
Mm-hmm.
They got these, workmen. I mean, I guess it's more like construction worker jumpsuits. You know,
Oh,
they did work
yeah,
in the factory
yeah.
or factory suits. They mostly did work in the factory, but they definitely look like they have these warehouse custom suits that are also like a blue gray. I like the blue gray. It's not a gray. It's like a blue gray, which is like a gray with like this slight blue blue tone, undertone.
Oh, yeah.
So it's literally my favorite gray because it's not like Dead Space gray. It's like, hey, I got some secret color underneath. There's more to me than meets the rotting eye.
Mm-hmm.
But
Always funny.
yeah, just their whole coloration, like even their
I think it adds to the comedy of it too.
yeah.
Like it's like, oh yay, look at this fun little world. But there's also these dim things that are just right there.
Yes, and I love that. I love like the dystopia of it, like the minor dystopia of it. But like even their gashes and the lesions that they had, they're grayed out because they're dead. You know, they're not, except for Tammy, they're not like a fresh they're not fresh corpse or anything, you know. They've been dead for a while because they were buried. They've decomposed, and they naturally already kind of gray out because there's no blood moving in the body or anything. So they have ideally already been embalmed if it was done correctly. So there's nothing flushing through them.
I just love all the comedy stuff about this regarding zombies. I already explained the throwing the ball. I love the newspaper zombie who is like flinging newspapers but doing it horribly because he doesn't have any blood in his arm, and so it like made it 2 inches on the dude's lawn. But
then right after, the milk guy.
Yeah, the milkman zombie.
He's like, oh, that's how I do it? And I don't know who the guy was in the truck behind him who was trying to stop him.
He was like, no.
Not like this. I don't know if that was like... Was he supposed to be the guy who owns the zombie for milk delivery? Or
I think so.
Okay, because I didn't know.
Because it looked like he had a similar getup on.
Yeah, he looked like a traditional milkman.
Yeah.
But I don't remember seeing anything on his truck. But I was confused at first because I think it was... I don't know if it was the previous scene or a few scenes back, because I forget how close that was to the beginning, where Mr. Buttons, the head of security guy was talking about how he's making taller fences and more van traffic on the street. So I thought this was one of the van traffics. But no, I think you're right. I think it was the owner of the zombie.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, he was trying to make him stop. Like, don't follow the newspaper guy because he's trying to deliver milk. He's like, no, you know, he's not saying this. But he's like, I gotta do it.
Yeah, he was gonna try and throw it.
Get better aim than the newspaper guy.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. They should switch jobs. I shouldn't say newspaper guy because I said this earlier. It's a newspaper boy. Like, one of the children died. And they do a great job of being comedic about this, but it's also sad because they're dehumanizing humans and humanizing zombies in a sense, because they're just like, yeah, I mean, I don't care about Bill, the father, is like, I can't afford to... But we can't afford to have a child because I don't want to pay another funeral package, blah, blah, blah. Like, already thinking about, like... Yeah, well, I'm going to have to pay funeral packages because if they die, they need a head gasket, or casket, not casket. They need a head casket. Like, that's all he sees. And the father even's like, you told me yourself, to the mother, that the other kids don't like him. So insinuating that they're going to murder their son and it just be an okay thing. But they want to make sure that they have a casket for his head. Like, geez. So just how harsh they are on children like that, of them just being expendable. And then just having a child zombie right then and there and still using them as employees, which is what Zomcom is kind of doing. Like, yeah, of course we can market this child.
Was it really a kid?
Yeah, because they even talked about how kids died too. And yeah, it was a paperboard kid.
Huh.
Yeah.
I thought it was just a dude.
Nope. I was one of the 3 zombie kids that were in the movie.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Sad. But it was still kind of funny.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you not have a kid not be like a newspaper boy? You know, you can't have a newspaper guy.
Yeah.
This is a kid's job.
The bullies were horrible. I was mad.
Oh man, like, first off, right after the school scene, I think it was crazy. It makes sense for the movie, but I think it was crazy that their outdoor education was like gun training.
Oh yeah.
To prepare for the zombies. Like I get it, but crazy.
I also love that was like what first attracted Timmy's attention to Cindy.
Yeah.
Like, he was just like, wow.
She's a good shot. And he's like looking at her, hoping. And I was waiting too. I'm like, she's got to look over. Like he keeps panning over to her. Maybe she'll look over, and then she never does. But yeah, then that's when he first tries to go talk. I wonder what he would have said if the zombies never stopped. I was literally thinking, what are you going to say to her? Nice shot. You're like, what,
yeah.
like, what are you going to say?
I loved Cindy as a character.
Yeah.
She was really funny. I think my favorite interaction was when she's like talking to Timmy in the middle of the road, and her dad is like, come on, we gotta get going. And she like leans out, she goes, I have to get to ballet. And then she like gets a serious face and goes, I hate ballet.
Yes, that was one of my favorite lines.
And then just goes, coming daddy, and then goes and gets in the car.
Yeah, what I loved about it too, just like what adds that to it is like this, we have a misogynist world here, you know, it's the 1950s, like it's almost like Stepford Wives, it's kind of like women have to play this role, and like society has to play this role, and it fits so much for Cindy's dad, Mr. Buttons, because he's like, you're gonna do things my way, and like this is how it should be, and little girls should be in ballet, little girls should behave this way, blah blah blah. And she's like, I'm gonna play the system, I'm gonna do what he wants, but secretly I'm being my own person, you know, like she's not getting in trouble, but she's also still living like that peaceful life. I was like, yeah, Cindy, go do it. And like definitely, I'm glad she wasn't the type of a villain kid where she would be like on his side of things, like, oh, you know, like my dad's gonna put you out there in the wild zone if, you know, blah blah blah. Like she wasn't also a bad guy, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
Because I think that would have ruined it. I like how she was advocating to be the good guy kind of thing.
They definitely portrayed Cindy as a good character versus someone who's just like I feel like this happens when they put characters in who their father or mom have some sort of influence.
Right, like Nepto kid. She's not a is that what it's called?
I have no idea.
Nepotism? Yeah. She's not a Nepo kid.
Just goes, I own everything because my dad does.
Yeah. You don't come into power.
Just like, I think she warned Timmy at some point in time about what their family did with the family that was living there. And then she also gave him the note that said that Fido was still alive.
And she also,
like, this girl,
her jump rope, she made it look like a leash so that their family didn't get in trouble. Because that was right before she talked about the Johnsons or
That's
whatever.
how I was like, dude, she's crushing on Timmy.
She's like, I like this kid. But back to the bullies you were talking about. Yeah, they are the worst people. I mean, bullies. Like, the fact that they were just gonna pull a gun out on the kid. I mean, I was glad that the teacher was like, what are you doing? And I was kind of hopeful for Mr. Buttons when he was like, we don't do that. Or like, well, like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, it was empty. And then he shoots it right next to him. He's like, a true Zomcom scout always counts as bullets. And I was like, okay, you got my respect a little bit, you know? But there was a weird line where he's like, yeah, but he said Zomcom is stupid. And he's helping Timmy up. And he's like, you did? That was such a weird character. I guess it adds to his egotism.
Yeah.
But,
because he is, like, kind of the starter of it or whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, those bullies, I think they're the perfect example of, like, an evil Dumb and Dumber. Because usually with bullies, and I didn't know they were brothers until before they died, is...
these kids died, by the way.
By the way, yeah, these are the other two zombie kids.
These kids died.
Is, like, I didn't know they were brothers until then. But, like, one's supposed to be smarter, you know? And here's the trope, though. Usually when there's, like, two henchmen or two bullies or whatever that are kind of evil, usually one's more fit and one's more plump. And the one more fit's smarter. And this is, like, a common trope that... Sure, whatever. I mean, sure. But, it was just, like, the slimmer one is always yelling at his brother because he's being stupid. They're both being stupid, by the way. Like, one is not smarter than the other. But they have actual guns in school, and they pointed at the kid, like I said. But there's another time they're in the bushes with BB guns, and I didn't think there was a BB gun until they said it was. Because when Timmy, like, pushes open the bushes and sees them, and one of them, like, is startled and looks towards Timmy, he moves the gun and shoots his brother. and it shot him in the arm, I think. And I was like, oh my gosh, he just shot him in the arm. And he's like, you shot me with a BB gun. And I was like, oh, jeez.
Which is crazy, because right before they die, they present him with having the same gun.
Yeah.
Like, the same exact gun that they were using in the bushes, and I was just like, how?
It was probably the same exact gun on the school grounds, too. But they said they just called it a BB gun for sake of stuff. But, I mean, just crazy. But yeah, and then
spoiler alert, they died.
Yeah, they died.
He was just like, dude, you made me you shoot my brother. And I was like, bro.
No one made you do anything.
You shot the zombie in the chest.
Like the lower abdomen even. It wasn't even the chest. And
he didn't even come close to getting him in the head. Granted, I think he was. Was he the casted one? Or was the other brother
I think he was the casted one. But I don't remember if he had a cast still.
I think he had a cast. One of them had a cast on.
The slimmer one, the one who shot the gun.
Oh, no wonder he sucks at aim.
Well, I don't know. I think it makes no sense if his cast was off. But he was the casted one, but I don't remember him having a cast in the woods.
I think he did. Because he was just like...
No, I don't think he did. Maybe he did. But, like, he shoots the Fido...
You made me kill my brother!
...in the stomach, which goes through the zombie because there's nothing holding... There's nothing holding there's no blood, there's no, like, strong muscle. You know, everything's, like, squishy.
Who knows if there's even anything in there?
Honestly, yeah. Kind of looked like, not like dark sawdust, like, coming out, like how they had it, like dirt falling out.
Like,
so...
It made like a thud noise.
Yeah, and then it went right straight through him and shot the brother in the chest, and he died. And, like, just a crazy concept. Why was he standing behind the zombie? Because he's dumb. And two, like, he hesitated so bad to shoot him and just wouldn't. Like, this was all your guys' idea. Like, you wanted to tie them up and shoot him. Why? If they were smart, which I know they're not, they would have just shot him in the head when he was chained. And when he died, unchained him. And then, but here's the thing, they wanted the fear factor, but forgot they would also be scared. Like, what the actual heck? And the mother later coming in and, like, shooting them. 6 bullets, by the way, for that one kid. I wonder if she was really mad that, like, these were the kids' bully. Her kids' bully. Because she's smart about, like, oh, I know how to get a gun, I'm pretty confident, but then 6 bullets to the kid was a lot. Like, grudgingly.
Yeah.
And then didn't go back and shoot, or... Wait, did she go back and shoot the other kid?
She must have, because, I mean, she at least burned their bodies.
Maybe, I don't know. Because what I kept thinking is she did 6 times, which means that was her whole round. Like, now, so she didn't shoot the other kid, because she had 6 rounds. I was like, that's too many bullets! You're not gonna be able to shoot the other kid.
Maybe the other kid hadn't been zombified yet, and she just, like, threw him in the shed with his brother. I don't remember.
I guess, yeah.
Because she burned the entire shed.
No. She hit the skinny kid with her car, and the zombie threw the brother who died from the gunshot into the bushes, and then the mom went and shot it. So then maybe the head force trauma made the other one die.
True.
That's what I'm gonna believe.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah, but geez, these bullies, terrible. I knew they were gonna do something suspicious. Like, they're gonna... Well, I liked how Mr. Buttons... Another reason why he gained a little bit more respect is when he said, you guys are insane that it was Timmy and his zombie, because you just shot... Like, they shot one of the officers in the leg. Or something, because they were trying to quote unquote help with this zombie outbreak. So they shot one of the officers in the leg. And they're like, "Ain't no way that blah 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 happened, because you probably shot Mrs. Henderson because you're over here, like, shooting up like random people." So I liked that dynamic.
Sorry to cut you off. Good. I also because I wanted to remember in the scene where they're, like, shooting the zombies. Where they're in the park after, like, 17 people had turned or something like that, and they were shooting them. I always find it funny when Slow Thing catches up to Guy who could obviously move. Like, that officer who was like, I'm killing him, and he's, like, blasting this zombie, and then the zombie just, like, overpowers him. I was just like, dude, you could have ran. That thing was coming up to you so slowly.
Yeah.
And he's like, and then Mr. Buttons is like, we're losing a lot of men. And I was like, no, duh, they're just standing there.
Yeah, they're, like, almost as dumb as the zombies, bruh. I like how Fido is just a well-suited name for the movie, because they are, like you said, domesticating these zombies. So it's just, of course, it's going to be a dog name. They have collars. They go on leashes. They play fetch with them sometimes. So I just thought it was funny that he gives a dog name. Also, when they only did this 2 or 3 times, but when they have, like, violent scenes when, like, a human is hitting a zombie or something, or at least mainly when Timmy was out at night, it, like, when he hits Mrs. Henderson, and there was another occurrence that happened, I think, when Mrs. Henderson bit the guy or something, but they pan where it's a silhouette that you see them, and they're in front of this night background.
Oh, yeah.
That background with the moon and the blue sky, so beautiful. Anytime that they had the night sky, like, shown, like, the moon, or with those pans, it was beautiful colors. Like I said, I love the color palette on this movie. So beautiful.
I love that that after Timmy buried Mrs. Henderson, that he gave a few words. He's just like, you weren't always a nice neighbor, but you were definitely a person.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry you died or whatever.
I'm sorry my zombie killed you.
Yeah. But you like the garden, so that's why I'm burying you here. And I'm like, that's nice.
I was like, what a cute kid.
Yeah, and like good intentions, you know. Still gives me kind of Dennis the Menace vibes, you know. And troublesome kid, but good intentions, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I liked how the mother was trying to connect with the son. Like, I wrote later on in, like, my least favorite parts, I did write, I hated how the disconnect of intimacy between the parents and the child, but I did appreciate the mother trying to connect. Yeah. Especially when they're at the funeral, and they're at the funeral, and this Bill is going on and on about him, like, oh, I just got this great deal on the head gaskets for the funeral, yada yada. Like, he's totally obsessed with the funerals, doesn't give a dang about the wife or the son or anything. It's just all he cares about. I mean, sure, he has trauma with zombies and whatnot because he had to kill his own dad. Like, the father had to kill his own dad when he was 11. But it's such an obsession that it's ruining his other relationships. But I like the line where the mom is talking about, Bill, get your own funeral. Timmy and I are going zombie. And I thought, heck yeah. Like, I liked how she was connecting. And, like, Timmy was saying something, and he was interrupted by his dad. And Helen goes, Bill, you know, Timmy was just about to blah, 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 you know? I was like, yeah, I'm starting to really like the mother character. Like, she's awesome she's, like, getting more close and personal with the son. Like, being a
she
good
definitely
mother.
got upgraded by the end of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
The dad did as well, in my own personal opinion, but at the same time, I was just like, I'm done with this dad.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Because, again, I kept comparing it to Dennis the Menace, and I was just like, it sucks that, like, they're set in the same era, but this dude's trauma is affecting everybody around him. Yeah. Whereas the dad in Dennis the Menace was just this really nice guy who loved his family, and I was like, why can't you be just mad? And then he, like, at the end of the movie, he sort of redeems himself, and I'm like, okay, at least he got an okay ending to his story.
I was happy that I thought they were going to keep him on as a zombie, but I'm glad, even though I probably would prefer to join in on being, like, zombified or whatever, but I'm glad they respected his wishes of, like, not wanting to be zombified, you know? Yeah. I thought that was really nice.
Yeah, especially since the mom was like, it's what he wanted, what he always wanted. And I was glad that he, like, was able to redeem himself in a good way, because Mr. Buttons is going to throw Timmy into the wild zone. Yeah. And be like, I'm just going to give you a couple minutes out there. And then the dad shows up and he's like, whoa, what are you doing to my kid? And I was like, yes, go, Dad.
Go, get him.
And then he ends up getting shot. And you're like, no, Dad, you were finally redeemed.
But then Fido eats Mr. Buttons.
True, he does.
Yeah. Turns him to a zombie.
And then he becomes a Zoncon zombie, which was funny.
Yeah, he becomes, like, the pet for Cindy, which I thought was so fitting.
Yeah. Like a reverse role kind of thing.
Yeah, he can finally be the dad he was supposed to be.
I was one of the funny things I wrote down is that, like, it was just a chain link fence, basically, for, like, the zombie defense. And it had, like, the basic backyard little chain link fence thing where it was, like, a chain wrapped around, and then it had that little thing. You know what I mean? That little lock thing That looks like it kind of looks like a horseshoe, and it goes like this.
Yeah, when
onto
they
the fence.
okay, here's a weird plot hole because I saw that when you took Timmy out, but when Timmy came back in, I didn't see it. All I saw was the key unlocking. But I swear when they left, he did have that little U-shaped thing to shove him out there. But where was that when he came back in? That's what I'm saying. I was like, oh, couldn't Timmy just literally like pick it up and go back in?
Yeah.
And as soon as I thought that, he saw the key still in the lock. I'm like, where was that? I didn't see Mr. Buttons. I feel like his name's not Mr. Buttons.
I think it is.
But yeah, like, there was no showing him locking the key. So, like...
Oh yeah, he definitely didn't lock it.
I just...
When he came back in.
There's two different...
Bottoms.
So I knew it wasn't
buttons.
I was like, Buttons too silly. Like, that's the name you give a little scraggly dog. Like, the dog in the movie, I would call Mr. Buttons, but, like, not him, Mr. Bottom. Yeah, just the door was weird. The attraction between Fido and Helen was a funny bit. I mean,
it was funny, but it kind of like it made me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like,
but I
this is weird because like I didn't want their relationship to approach what's his buckets and Tammy's.
Oh yeah.
Where he just like has her chained up and then he's like taking off his clothes and he's like.
Oh yeah,
all
that
these
window
motions
scene.
At her, and I'm like, oh please.
And he purposely like.
Cover my eyes.
He like purposely disables the collar too for Tammy to go all like hog wild while she's chained. Because she was like trying to get him.
Oh.
You covered your eyes probably, so you didn't see.
Yeah,
but like she's chained
he's just
up.
really into it, and I was like, that's really weird.
Yeah.
And she's just like,
which makes sense because he's like, oh, I had a close call with Tammy once and shows a scar. I'm like, oh yeah, he definitely like disables that collar.
Yeah.
Occasionally. But
he wants to feel her animalistic instinct, some weird BDSM kind of garbage.
I will talk about later about like my comment on that relationship, but like the Fido and Helen thing was kind of, this is when I talk about like the humanization and like the soul like taking host of the body, because the concept I loved about this movie was that Fido didn't attack Helen or Timmy when his collar was disabled because he generally cared about them. I thought that was really great, especially the car scene where he kind of like rolls over because of her. I don't know if he's reaching in the back for something or like her driving, but she freaks out. He's like, oh, your collar. And he just sits there like, eh? Like,
so like he had some sort of sentience.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not going to get you. And she's holding the gun and she's like all to the side like, what are you doing? He's like, So I thought it was really cool, like their relationship. Even though it didn't really go too far, I think the oddest thing, the too close to budding of like a deep relationship was the dance scene and the very end scene when he's like cooing the baby. I think.
Oh yeah.
And like that was sweet. He's nice to the baby, but then she's like falling in love more with him. My brain's like, oh, she's gonna. And
he's just wearing the dad's clothes.
Yeah, like they're like, you know. Also, I want to go back 3 steps. When she decided to respect the father's wishes, I also feel like she's like, oh, I don't want his zombie body get in the way of my my relationship with Fido.
Yeah.
Like that's what that gives me. Also, I don't think she really cared, but more like, I don't know if they automatically get ownership of their dead ones. I don't know.
I mean, I would assume so, because Cindy was it seemed like it was pretty quick to Cindy just like.
I think it's because they have power. I think it's because they had power.
Oh, okay, like their familiar family influence.
Yeah.
Gave them the ability to pick whatever zombie they wanted.
I think so.
And it happened to be the dad.
I don't know, they didn't really get into that. Maybe it is something like it inherits to them. If they don't want it, they send it away.
I don't know.
I don't know either. But, yeah.
Going back to the dance scene, though,
yeah.
That was like the moment when I was just like, okay, Dad, I've given up on you. When she was like, please just dance with me. And he's just like, I don't want to. And I was like, man, come on. And then her dancing with Fido, I feel like that was more like to put it into perspective rather than in my opinion, at that point in time, it didn't feel like her advancing on Fido. It felt more like she was just dancing with a mannequin. Yeah,
like she wanted to dance. Like, she wanted to have that fun.
Please, I just want my husband to notice me.
Yeah, I think she was. Well, yeah, because definitely he never noticed she was pregnant, And this is, I think, before she told him.
Yeah.
And right after the conversation, though, she had with Mrs. Bottom, of like, he hasn't noticed yet, yada yada. And like, he was getting into it, and I think he got super jealous and angry at Fido, and that's why he shocked him. Which, yeah, that was the part I was like, why I oughta kind of like do the dad. So I was like, how could you? Because I also hated what it did to Helen. It like resetted her I have to do what he says kind of motion. Because in the very beginning of the movie, she's always like, oh, we gotta do what your father says kind of thing, and she's getting out of her shell. And then even Mr. Bottom's like, you know, Helen, she's a squirrely woman, a wild woman, you gotta keep her in check. Women like that, they do he didn't say nefarious, but I prefer to say the word nefarious things with their zombies, yada yada yada. So just like putting this war on like women in a marital status, like making men feel insecure to take things out on their woman, it's just so low of a person.
I've never really liked I completely agree with you on that.
Yeah.
That, like, using somebody else as it's kind of tacky and low. Mm-hmm. It just doesn't feel like they deserve it at all. I've also never really liked the notion of doing something because everybody else is doing it.
Yeah.
And that was, like, her whole motivation for getting Fido. So she didn't want to look weird to the neighbors because they were the only people on their street without a zombie. And I was just like... I mean, I get it, but at the same time, I'm not a huge fan of that kind of ideology.
Yeah, I think what sucks about... I mean, yeah, I completely agree. But I think what she was starting to notice, because she had that, like, micro breakdown in the garage, is that if they were the weird ones, they would be outcasted easily. Because because how they kept referencing the Johnsons, I don't remember... Their zombie ate someone, right? I think that's what it was that exiled them out. But I think before they announced that, it made me think that the Johnsons were weird, and then that they came up with the reason of putting them in the wild zone. And that is what I thought her fear manifested in. Is that like, and that's what's terrible about like micro dystopian. I'm gonna call this a micro dystopian because it's too comedic. But the undertones of like the government controlling a lot of things, and like you live a certain way because of a like natural disaster or like a pandemic sort of thing, like a zombie apocalypse or whatnot. Everyone's a little bit more controlled, tight and keep. Like you have to do things a certain way to survive. So that in a way, your choices are owned. So like if they have to choose to go certain places because they can't go out in the wild, or if they want protection, they have to respect these certain people because they're the ones protecting you. But usually they're like evil people in a sense, you know?
Yeah, kind of like the Giver.
Yeah, kind of like exactly. Even though it's
like you kind of sort of get punished for stepping out of normalcy.
Yeah, even though it's great what you're doing, speaking up for something, but you shouldn't. You know, and I feel like she got trapped, and this is why I said it reminds me of Stepford Wives too. That whole thing is because she's trying to be a good mother, or like a passionate lover, or just like a normal person, and everyone's telling her to get back in her box, and like that she has to fit into this size of a dress or whatever. Not physically, but like you have to have a zombie to not look weird because they probably could have been outcast. Like, oh, if you disagree with our ways, I guess you don't deserve to be here, kind of thing.
Like, which is crazy considering that the president of ZomCon lived right across the street.
It wasn't the president, it was the head of security.
Oh. Man, I did not remember that.
I watched it 2 hours ago, or 3 hours ago. I remember. He had another name. I don't actually remember what his other title was. Maybe it was president. I just remembered he was the new head of security. Well, that would make no sense if he was also president. But I just remembered he was the new head of security. Which makes me think, was the Johnsons the old head of security? Because, like, why all of a sudden is there a new one? But
I feel like maybe they were just people who lived down the street.
Yeah.
Although the way that it looked, like when they showed the map at the beginning, it looked like there were a bunch of little communities that had been sectioned off in a specific way to make it like make it look like there were more than just the community that they lived in. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that's kind of odd. I wonder if they have like suppliers or anything that transport goods from community to community.
They probably do, and that's the type of stuff that I'm into with story building. Is when you think about how like they say, oh yeah, this quote unquote utopia is all good, but what about the dystopia that's happening? Who's going through dangerous operations to transfer these resources? Do they come up with their own resources? Is it all inland? Because they do have like a big piece of like forestry that Timmy and Fido go through, so they obviously have like stable land that they've sectioned off. It's not like a super tiny community, so maybe some places have farms or whatnot. But it also sounds like maybe like Mr. Bottom came from different communities, because they talk about how they move around so often they don't stay in the same place, which is super suspicious, by the way. But I wonder if he goes to those different communities, because I doubt it's within the same community.
Like spends a couple months there to make sure security is good where it's at.
Well, he was the new head of security. I don't know if he was head of security before.
That's fair. But I mean, he was in the military.
Yeah.
So moving around probably comes with military stuff. And they probably use helicopters as transport. So
I would
that
think
they
that
don't
would
have
be
to
best.
like drive anywhere.
That would be best, probably. Yeah.
I mean, it would make the most sense.
Yeah, but just these movies sometimes make the best sense.
No, never.
Yeah. I thought it was hilarious. I'm thinking, Mr. Theophilus, like, yeah, I'm gonna break you in, kid. Like, we're gonna go get Fido out. Let's do this. I just thought it was funny. I couldn't tell about this Frank character. Like, I was like, yeah, I'm bringing Tammy in for a tune-up, and he's just like dead staring, not at the kid, but at Mr. Theophilus. I don't know. I didn't know how to read that interaction. Like, you guys are supposed friends. Like, are you suspicious of him? Like, do you not respect him for Tammy? Because he's like, it's Tammy, right? And I'm like, what is going on? Like, I don't know how to read this scene.
Maybe he was an ex.
Oh,
before she was zombified.
I need to come back to that later because I don't like that. But I just like with the way they're waiting inside, which gave me the feeling in Harry Potter when they go to that bank and they're waiting in the bank.
Yeah.
It gave me that same vibe. I really like the set design and the colors, but he's like, hey, you just need to go through that door behind the counter. I'm like, oh, I wonder how he's gonna do this. Maybe like he's just gonna verbally distract the guy and he's gonna like go around the corner. But no, what he does is deactivates the collar of the zombie in front of them. This guy is crazy and like causes a zombie attack to happen, which causes such an uproar that has to be covered up later, like a huge one. I was like, oh my goodness. And just what a way to distract him. But he was a little more crazy, because the one zombie that was not attacking anyone got shot in the head, not like to kill Tammy, but like raised her scalp. And he's like, that's my Tammy. And it just goes rabid and attacks the guy over on the counter. I thought that was funny.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he had some true love for her.
Yeah, which is goofy.
Very goofy.
I did write Tammy down as my favorite character, though, because I was like, you were pretty adamant on me, like,
Picking
narrowing down favorite character. But, like, the more we talked about it, I think I would probably choose Cindy over Tammy. Although I do think Tammy was really funny.
Tammy was hilarious.
Yeah.
I chose Helen because I just love Carrie, and I couldn't think about anyone else. And I loved her character and her dynamic and everything she stood for. But I do have to say, Cindy probably was a better favorite character for me. Just especially, I don't know, maybe the end scene with at the barbecue, which that was arguably also one of my favorite parts too, is that whole like family friends barbecue at the end. Is she, how I said she isn't that type of trope character who, if her quote unquote daddy is in power, then she would be like, not a snot-nosed kid, but a little prissy about it.
Yeah. That
scene, if I only watched that scene, I would, like, and not the rest of the movie, I would have thought she was that prissy character, because it gave me, like, I remember she had pigtails, but it gave me, like, pigtail vibe, would blow bubbles, has a balloon, driving around her zombie dad, like, it gave me that prissy vibe, even though that's not what her character is, but maybe that's still how she portrays herself to other people, except for Timmy, of course, but it just still gave me that vibe. Not saying I hated it, but, like, that's just what I observed. But she would have been a close favorite, but I think I like Helen more.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Completely fair.
Love
she
Helen.
was a really good character. I really liked her arc.
Mm-hmm.
That it started off as like we're going to do whatever the husband says because that's what we're meant to do because we're women. And then as she evolved as a character, she realized that her husband was just kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And that doing everything that he said might not be the best in the best interest of the safety of her kid and herself.
Luckily, his lack of confidence issues made it where he couldn't be as controlling as Mr. Bottom. I feel like if he was more confident in himself and what he wants to be done, he would be as toxic and misogynist as Mr. Buttons. But luckily, he was more weak, I guess. Not the word I want to say, but he was just wasn't. His trauma was.
You could kind of tell that with their weird chat where he was just like, "You gotta rein in your woman."
He's like,
"That's what I've done." As the women are over there talking and going like,
they're literally like right next to them. Basically, it made me think they're like the trope where like the women are by the pool and the men are by the barbecue. No, they're literally like 2 feet away.
Yeah, like in the other room.
Yeah.
And she's just like.
Oh yeah, when they talk later.
Like that was like the most heartbreaking part of the movie, in my opinion, was when the moms were talking together.
Yeah.
And Mrs. Bottoms was like, he doesn't even know, and then Helen just goes, it's kind of like like I don't even know if he loves me anymore because of how unfocused this man is on me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Man, that's so sad.
If you had to answer what Bill loves, I couldn't tell you. I don't think he physically loves a single thing, and I don't think that's his fault. I think, like, his trauma is suppressing his form of identity. Like, I don't know. I really don't know. Like, I don't know, you know? And also, I would like to, because we're kind of transitioning to least favorite bits right now. How long has this been happening? Because it made it seem, I guess it's been happening for, I don't know, like over a decade, but it didn't give me that vibe. It made it seem like it happened recently, but not too recently, because obviously they have a way of fixing it. But like, obviously Mr. Buttons is like fought in the zombie war, right? Like he had 500 kills or whatever.
Yeah.
And obviously Bill had to shoot his dad when he was 11. He's probably in his 30s by now, so there's probably like a 20-year difference there. But I had a note where I I need to know the timeline because it makes no sense, because the cadets even said they've been what are they called, Zomcom cadets, for 2 years. So my brain's like, oh, so it has to have been happening for probably about 5 years at least. But there's like no direct timeline. Like the beginning,
maybe if they threw a date on the
beginning thing,
yeah,
that would have been great. Like, what's the point of history without having, I guess they didn't want to put a year, but even if they said like 24 years ago the space or whatever, you know, like give a dang year. I wanted that because I need to know that timeline. I need to see how long they had this advancements, because I was under the impression that it happened so quickly, and I was like, there's no way you can develop these collars that quickly. There's no way you've been able to have a wide net fence, because if we've known anything from The Walking Dead, that takes time. That takes time and commitment, and you have to have like some brawls because everyone goes cuckoo with the outbreak. But it made it sound like they like had it done lock and key. Then all of a sudden it's been going on for years.
Well, I mean, I think that they might have insinuated that it had been something that was like a 15-year span of time to progress to where they were now. Mm-hmm. At least, because I mean, the zombie war, I would assume, would entail them fighting the zombies and then creating communities where they can lock out the zombies, and then making sure that the zombies were locked out and eliminating any stragglers. Mm. And then also developing the collars and then domesticating the zombies that they wanted to.
Right. I was confused because it just wasn't properly established.
Yeah, that's completely fair.
Also, I so hated, you remember the car scene where she has 1 cup of liquid and then she decides to bring back 3 when they're washing the car, when Timmy and Fido are washing the car?
Oh, yeah.
When the dad came over, I was so mad when like he just swung open because he was mad at Fido for his car, and he just hits Timmy with his golf bag. Like, that had to have been so heavy.
Oh, yeah.
And he, even knocks to the side. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then, no one else saw it. I'm like, dang. Like, that poor kid, like, not only is there emotional abuse, but there's unintentional physical abuse going on there, and especially when he's so worried about the car. I'm like, man, did you have to do that to our Bortini here? Like, what the heck?
I think the dad is just so caught up in his own way that he lives a different life than the rest of the people around him.
Yeah.
Like, one of the things that really bothered me, and I know that sometimes this happens with PTSD, is the almost euphoric look that he was giving when he was shocking Fido.
Yeah.
I was just like, whoa, dude, chill out.
Oh, jeez. I also think that stemmed from, like, he doesn't care about his wife, but no one else can have her. And, you know, like, there's something inside him that's suppressing him to have that intimacy and that connection. But him seeing someone else have it with her, someone having something else he can't, and it also being a zombie, like, just, you're like, oh, well, you think you can one-up me, well, I own you, like, you remember your place kind of thing. And I think that was a message for both of them, too. Like, his slight, like, misogynist confidence there.
And it does make me wonder, like, going back to the timeline thing, if perhaps his PTSD, like, elevated over time.
Yeah.
Of, like, them making the zombies. Like, I'm sure that he had some trauma from when he was 11, but at some point in time he was into his wife enough to have a kid and then have 2 kids because they had one on the way. And so I was like, maybe the collars were like a more modern-ish thing that they, like, established over the last, like, 5 years, to the point where he was still, like, into his wife enough to sleep with her, but then like, still on that road as they started domesticating zombies, so that his brain was just, like, going back to his dad and all the things that he went through, and then he's just like, I can't believe they're doing this. And it slowly started to deteriorate over time.
I bet he was way more intimate too before. I also think the introduction of Fido into the household, like, started a spiral down for him. Because, again, like, there's a reason why they never had a zombie with them, you know? And it's not like he's not seeing... I don't know where he works, but it's not like he doesn't see a zombie day to day, because everyone, like, they're incorporated into the chores and whatnot.
Yeah, his paper boy.
Yeah. Yeah. So, obviously, like, they're around, but maybe his house was his only safe haven. And, like, I know he, like, didn't pay attention to the kid, and his wife was always so obedient, because it seemed... when she had that surprise dinner, that he looked pretty loving, even though he asked Timmy, like, how was your day, but then didn't care to really dive into more of it. He was just so excited for, like, whatever his wife was doing, that there was probably that love there. But then he just was on fight or flight after Fido being there. It's now, like, in his home, in his only safe space kind of thing. I think they, like, I don't think that's how his character has been throughout their whole relationship. Like, just
that would be kind of awkward if it was.
Yeah, I don't think they would. I don't know how that relationship would really work, but I think he was still suppressed before, and they probably wouldn't have therapy if it's supposed to be based in the 1950s. But definitely suppressed.
I wasn't a huge fan of the dude getting jiggy with his wife, with Tammy.
Okay, I'm talking. I would love to talk about this right now.
I was like, wow, that's pretty messed. It's also, like, a realm of control that I'm not really
comfortable with.
Yeah, mostly because it was like, I had the hots with this girl when she was alive, and then she ate her mom, and then we put a collar on her, and now I get to get jiggy with her because she can't do anything to stop me.
I want to talk about that exact moment. He didn't. Maybe he had the hots for it, but here's how he says it. I don't have it word for word, but he literally describes it. He's like, I've been in love with her. I've had my eyes, I've been in love with her. I've had a liking for her every time the first time I saw her. And then he continues to say that it was at a grocery store while she was with her mom. And my brain's like, how long has he had Tammy? Tammy looks really young. I'm not comfortable trying to ask how old Tammy is, because she's not, like, obviously she's not, like, 12 or something, but she looks like a young college kid. If not older high school kid, especially since she had pigtails at one point. And, like, if she's at the store with her mom, I don't know. And then, like, she has a brain aneurysm or whatever, and he says they put on a collar on her before she fell, like, exaggerating about it, and then, like, he snatched her. And my brain's like, boy, I'm very uncomfortable trying, like, wanting to ask how old Tammy is, because she does look way too young. And going back, like I said, I don't know the timeline on this. Obviously, it would be when they had collars. Great. And we were thinking that's pretty recent. But yeah, it's such a weird relationship. But at the same time, I mean, Tammy did have, like, the capacity to look jealous, I guess, when he made, like, a comment. It is a very weird relationship, but at least, like...
It seems mutual-ish.
Yeah, and, you know, Helen is like, hey, me too with mine. But so we just let them be a family over there. Everything will be fine. But I know, just why did they, if she didn't die shopping with her mom, I probably would have brushed it aside, you know, thinking, oh, like shopping, just shopping. Oh, she's an adult, she's shopping by herself. Most kids don't shop on their own. But if you're shopping with your mom.
Yeah, she might have been early college, is what I assume.
I'm really hoping.
Just because
really
she didn't look completely teenager-esque.
I know. She's pretty tall, too. I mean, that might not
she's
be
taller than him.
Which if she was maybe
she was
shorter,
mostly wearing heels.
Maybe he dolled her up. Like, maybe he bought those things.
Well, I mean, he did, like, put makeup on her.
Yeah.
And I love that the neighbors were just like, yeah, he's kind of weird.
Yeah. Because it was, like, in the lawn, and at first I didn't know she was a zombie.
Because I never just, like, fanning him or whatever.
Yeah, and I never saw her face. And, like, I don't know. I don't look at...
Yeah, like, that's kind of an odd thing for a couple to do. And then you're just like, oh, it's really odd.
Yeah, because then I saw the veins on her legs. I'm like, also, isn't she eventually going to decompose all the way?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know what's going on here.
He's just like living until that eventuality happens.
I don't know. Maybe he would still keep her, you know? I really don't know. I'm worried, actually.
Maybe he'll decompose faster than her.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
He just dies someday and then...
Maybe he just keeps injecting her with fresh embalming fluid, because embalming fluid, like, lifens the body. That's why, like, corpse looks so lifelike if it's open casket. It's because, like, you drain the blood, you're grayed out, you put the embalming fluid in, your skin brightens up because it's moisturized. Or, like, it's bringing that lively. Yeah. So maybe he just, like...
He just has vials of it just stashed in his house.
And he just injects her with it or something. Oh, gosh. It's turning into something really weird. I just don't like this whole situation. I hated it. I hated it so much. I mean, I love this movie, but, like, boy, that was such a weird concept. I would just keep driving, you know, kind of thing. Like, I'm just gonna keep driving. Maybe I'll move. I don't know. But hey, he did, like, stand up for the boy, or, like, go to stand up for the boy when, what's her name, Mrs. Henderson, was like, oh, you took that bike, what have I been telling you? And then, like, Mr. Theophilus, like, stands up and walks to the gate to look at her, and she's like, what are you gonna do? And he kind of just, like, stares at her and then turns around. I was like, yeah, you get that old woman.
And he tries to protect Timmy later, but then he's a horrible shot.
Yeah.
And then Cindy saves them both.
Yeah.
He's like, finally got him. And then Cindy's just like, did you really?
He's like, nice shot.
Yeah.
I hate to say it. I'm kind of glad Mrs. Henderson died. You know, she's one of those old ladies that they're too grouchy, man. They need a rest.
Yeah.
And rest she eventually did.
Oh, absolutely.
Eventually. But Mr. Henderson didn't deserve what he had gone through, though. They arrested him. I hated that.
Oh, for her death?
Yeah, because, like, they're blaming it on him. Which goes to show, like, I hate this type of government that's in this movie. Like, they're quick to cover things up. They're quick to, like, oh, you're the husband, so of course you had something to do with it. Which I know how motives work. I know how suspects work. But those are just quick to cover stuff up. Because they also, if they had Mr. Henderson, why do they still eventually go to blame it on the bullies? Obviously to cover up the Timmy situation. Which, a power play on Mr. Bottom, by the way. To, like, I covered it up for you, so blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, let's go back to quote-unquote normal and let it be.
So just, like, what a weird concept. Yeah, I wouldn't really change anything. I mean, I talked about the timeline. It was something very... I just wish it was more clear. But I don't agree with this change I'm about to suggest, but I also think it would be kind of funny. It would make the reality of what we've been talking about with the zombie relationships more icky, but it would be really funny. So going back to the scene where Fido, like, looks at the baby and we get to see the baby, how funny would it be?
Oh no, don't say it. Just don't say it.
No, how funny would it be if we saw the baby and we just knew that it was Fido's kid.
Oh, okay. That was
What were you guys think I said?
I thought you were gonna say. We're good.
What did you think I was gonna say? He eat the baby? No!
I thought that's what you were gonna go for. I was like, please don't say it. That's why I chose not to say it. Like, that'd be a weird thing to say.
That would also be funny. But no, like, you just...
It would be comedic for a different reason. It would be like dark humor.
Yeah. No, I mean...
Collar breaks.
To see that the baby being Fido's kid would also be, like, dark humor, because then...
Well, I mean, no blood flow, right? I mean, I'm just saying.
True.
That'd be kind of weird.
True. I don't know. They can make things possible. I don't want to actually think about that.
No, it's just not.
Let's not think about that. But it would have been funny. I thought that would have been like a funny, like, odd humor thing. And then maybe, because it would fit. Because then he would cue the baby, and then maybe he saw something that made it look like his kid, and then he'd be like, huh? And then, like, look at the wife, and then Helen would be like, what she was doing, like,
oh, yeah.
And then...
That would be pretty funny.
Yeah.
If it just, like, looked like his kid.
Maybe if Bill Murray was the main actor there, that would be the ending.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that definitely
probably,
be the ending.
Yeah. The one thing that really bothered me was when they were about to burn the bullies, and this is just like a movie trope for me that bothers me anyway, is when it's a windy day and people light a match and throw it into something.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, really?
No way. I even thought that when they threw the match, was like, even if it wasn't a windy day. I'm like
flinging it like that.
Is it really
she
gonna
didn't
make
wait
it?
that long to fling it.
No.
Like, and the thing is that you'd wait a little bit so that the wood would burn a little bit, so that it's a little bit more on fire.
Yeah.
And then you throw it.
Yeah.
But it was just like, and
yeah.
I was just like, wow, okay, she threw that in really quickly.
I didn't think it would make it for one because she wasn't that close. Because
even
though she poured gasoline, most people are a little bit closer so that you don't throw it right at the doorway, but you throw it farther in. Because if you throw it right at the doorway, you could catch yourself on fire because you're that close. But like if you threw it farther in, like at least you'd be in the middle of everything. I don't know, yeah.
Yeah, that was awful.
She used the power of the Matrix. That's what it was.
Oh, yeah. Slow-mo.
Yeah. She teleported in there.
Oh, yeah. She hacked. There was a hacker.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you this as, like, just because it came up in my brain as I was watching all the zombies move around. If you were zombified, what job would you hope that someone assigned you to?
Probably like a dog walker.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That would be pretty
Because then I would be able to, like, see the outdoors. You know?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I'd probably want to be, like, a cashier because I think it would be funny to just be, like, pick up a gallon of milk and your arm just falls off.
Oh. But then you can only do that twice.
That's true.
They're not going to reattach
the muscle
it.
fibers in my left arm are stronger, so it's just like...
No, that'd be like a short life lived because then they would decommission you.
True. But I mean, at least it would be fun for my zombie form while I had it.
It's like you can't scan it. Oh, you're dealing with a Karen who's like, that's supposed to have a coupon. And you're just like,
Yeah, exactly.
And you just look like any other cashier in the normal world where they're just like, stop.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think a dog walker would be pretty cool. Or like I don't know, I think it would also be cool to be someone who just delivers something door to door.
Oh, okay, like a door-to-door salesman.
Yeah, or just like milkman or newspaper or packages, or just so that I can see.
Like a UPS.
Yeah, just so I can see
go
everything.
Zombie. The driver pulls up, go zombie, and you're just like...
Do.
It's a heavy thing and you're like...
Oh, I guess that's fair, yeah. I don't know.
You just drop it on accident.
I feel like, too, being a dog walker, the dogs might try to bite me.
Although, the way that if you think about it right, also, because, like, going back to, I think that this is one of the tropes that they threw into The Walking Dead. Mm-hmm. They're like, zombies are stronger because the inhibitor in their brain doesn't inhibit them to not be as strong as they possibly can be. Because our brain kind of limits our physical ability. Because we're like, oh man, I can't lift this. Mm-hmm. It's too heavy. Mm-hmm. But like zombies are just like super tough because they don't have that. They don't think, oh man, this is super heavy. They just go, and then they lift up a truck to get to you. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, maybe that was like the thing is like furniture moving and zombie just like towing around a couch all by himself.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it probably is one of the main jobs. I mean,
Yeah,
for
true.
that exact reason. No one wants to carry something heavy. I mean, we saw the movers for the bottoms.
Oh, yeah.
Except for that one, like, breaking all those boxes. I was like, heh.
Oh, yeah, him just going... That was really funny.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the silly, like, unintellectual trope you're talking about.
Yeah. Did you like the movie overall?
Yes, I very much liked the parallelism that it had with, like, our government and world now, and I thought it was really funny. I always love a good zombie movie, and I think this was, besides, like, the whole plot hole about how long that it's happened, which I think is one of the most important parts, is seeing the timeline of these advancements, because that's what every other movie compares, is like, how long does it actually take for you to get to this civil... Maybe they didn't want to reveal that secret. They didn't want you to know that in 15 years you could be this civilized.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I don't know. But I liked that. I liked the comedy of it. I loved it. And honestly, I thought it deserved an extra large.
Oh, nice.
And I don't give those out rare. Or I give those out sparsely, apparently. So
yeah.
I think this is my 4th or 5th extra large I've given out.
I've
Second
done a
of
couple.
one of the movies that you recommended. So I had a pretty good pick.
Yeah. I was surprised. I was pleasantly surprised.
I assume you really liked it.
I did, but unfortunately, nostalgia just destroyed it for me. See, here's the thing. I answered you vaguely earlier, but this is not the movie that I remembered at all. Because I remembered, like, this. In my brain, this is how this plot went. It's like a cute little 60s town. One zombie gets in and becomes this kid's pet. And, like, it's the one zombie. Like, it's not like a whole comedy thing.
Yeah.
It's just this one zombie that this kid, like, has, and people think it's kind of normal or whatever. Like, oh, this is his uncle or whatever. And he's just, like, has him as a pet. But then once the movie ends, it, like, does a zoom out of this little town, and you just see this, it's completely fenced in, and there's just a bunch of zombies all around them. Like, everyone else is living in ignorance. And it's just this one kid who happens to have a zombie that is just like, whoa, I'm in the know.
Are you sure you're not thinking of, like, a different movie?
I have no idea. But I feel like this is, like, the movie that I remember. And I was just like, man, that would have been cool if it was, like, that kind of a gritty feeling where it was just, like, kind of a darker tone to it than just, like, oh, we're so happy here. But it was just, like, I would have loved that darker tone where it was like, oh, we're so happy here. But this kid has a random zombie. And then you zoom out and you realize that the world has been, like, infested, but it's just this one community that is closed off. Like, that would, like, play into the more governmental control trope as well.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like you're not thinking about a different movie, because I see, like, bits that would support that, but just, like, 12 years, like, ruining the memory, because we really, we do see other zombies, but not in the same effect that we see Fido.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, like, he takes him to the park, like, we always see him doing things together, and, like, it's just mainly his interaction we see. Otherwise, all the other zombie workers are either far off in the screen, or they're just in, like, a dark, like, factory, like, working, so we don't really see a bunch. And then I think the gate where Timmy gets, like, shut out kind of gives that effect of, like, yeah, it's a small community and it's really a wasteland out there, while it's, like, a green little community, so you're probably, just let 12 years ruin it. But it would also be pretty funny if there was an exact movie of how you're describing that's just
also
sitting there.
Fido.
Maybe not also called Fido, maybe it's called, like,
some other dog.
Yeah, but not Lassie.
No, which I thought was referenced in this movie.
It kind of was unintentionally, because Timmy is...
When he was tied to the tree, he was like, go get mom, go get mom.
Yeah, or like, what is it, boy? Where's Timmy? And Timmy's the same name as the boy in Lassie.
Yeah. So unfortunately, as much as I loved it, I think I gotta give this a medium.
A medium? That far down?
Yeah.
Oh, no!
I was actually debating giving it a small, so I'm being generous.
Wow! How could you? You made me think, because you're like, yeah, this movie... And I was like, oh, finally a zombie movie he's gonna think highly of, but no.
I mean, I'd be willing to upgrade to a large after what we talked about, but...
Oh, really?
Like,
small to a large, huh?
I just would have liked it if it had that kind of a sense to it, where it was just this one kid who happened to have a zombie instead of, like, this whole population thing.
Yeah.
And and it was just, like, right as soon as the movie started, I was like, oh, this is not what I remember at all.
That makes me think of, like... because how you're like, oh yeah, this is my uncle. Isn't that how Meet the Hendersons go? Is like they have the Sasquatch and they're like, oh, that's just like.
I think he's just a part of the family. I don't know.
I don't know. Like
it's been forever since I've seen that movie too.
Yeah. Gosh, I can't believe. I was so hopeful. I'm like, yo, we're gonna be at the same rating. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, I'd probably go large, like, if I was feeling generous.
Yeah, and apparently you're not. Wow.
I know.
Wow, I can't believe you.
I know.
I love this
so
movie.
Sad.
I loved it so much. And
I'm glad that you really enjoyed it.
That's great. That's just great.
Well, because normally I'm like, man, I wonder if, like, right as soon as I finished, I was like, man, I wonder what kind of rating Meat is going to give this, because it is not, it just wasn't my cup of tea in terms of what I thought it would be.
Wow, I can't believe you've done this.
I know. I'm horrible. That's okay. I give, you're like...
I'm so critical in other movies.
There's always that disconnect, isn't there? Where it's like, you're like, oh man, this movie was not great. And I'm like, it was the best movie ever!
I was hopeful for this one. I was so hopeful. I don't think I've ever seen you give a movie you recommended such a low review. I mean, The Incredibles, I think you even still gave it a large.
The Incredibles?
Arthur and the Invisibles. Yeah, why did I say The Incredibles? Arthur and the Invisibles. I think you still gave it like a medium or a large or something. I think you gave it a large. Maybe. Anyway, movies you recommend, I'm just...
Well, this one was just one that I hadn't seen forever, so it was like kind of like watching it new.
Yeah.
I know it's disappointing.
I just can't believe it.
I know.
Well, that seems to be all the time that we have today. Thank you, Cheese, for another disappointing, no I'm kidding, amazing episode. And thank you, Breadcrumbs, for following us on this trail. Now, I want to keep aligned with this kind of terror side of what today's film was about, and kind of like I haven't seen this movie in a while vibe, with the 90s hellscape vibe with Spawn, which came out in 1997.
Oh, is that the superhero one? Well, I guess he's an anti-hero.
Yeah, I think it's more of an anti-hero.
Like a black... He kind of looks like Venom, but he has green eyes. That's about all I know about Spawn.
Really?
So this will be an interesting watch.
Yeah, there's apparently like a series on Hulu that's really popular about it, but I haven't seen it. But the 1997 specific movie about it is what I'm going for, and I'm super stoked to talk about it next time. So until then, stay tuned, and we'll see you next time.
Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.